Thanks for joining me for another episode of The Rundown with Ramon. We're here with Jorge and Tiffany, a couple that have an amazing olive oil business. And I should have said this before we recorded, but Jorge and Tiffany, feel free. You all know each other. So as I ask a question, one of you can answer, both of you can answer, but I'll leave it to you how it comes out. But feel free to just one can answer, but we'll have just a discussion. But first, I'll jump out, and some things I may call on you. But first, I just want to ask a little about yourselves personally. How did you meet? How did you get together? Tell us a little personal things. Briefly, the story of just you both together, please.
You want to start? Sure. So basically, we met in the airport in Madrid, actually. We had just a chance encounter. We were both waiting for our planes, two different destinations. He was heading to Asia. I was heading to the States. And we just sat across from each other and just spoke for about 20 minutes. We exchanged contact details. And then that was it. We just started communicating, and then
it was love at first sight. Love at first sight.
There you go.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Our son, that he's 5 years old, and after almost 8 years together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations. And then how did the business come to be? Unpack that for me. Were you both entrepreneurial minded-ish in some way, or I had no clue how to spell olive oil and like 2 years ago got into it? Just help me understand that journey of you both being independent, pre-marriage, pre-being together, and then the company. Help me just unpack that history.
Well, basically, we, from the very beginning, we were talking about to build something together. Okay. And basically, we are all foodies. We love like healthy food, healthy ingredients. We are into really a very nice health lifestyle. And then my family has been producing olive oil for the last 3 generations. Mm-hmm. So it was my great-grandfather who started the business, planting the first trees. So some of the trees are already centennial. And we were discussing about that and how if we start, commercializing the olive oil of the family together. And it was just like let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
I love it. And so so grandfather had what that you added to? Just help me unpack. He had what, and then you added to that, or just leverage that to create a separate business? Just unpack that part of the business.
Sure. So basically his great grandfather started planting the trees, and they kind of been producing olive oil for that long, and passing it down amongst the generations. And then we've decided to say, hey, you know what? Let's bring it to the States. That's basically what we've done. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I love it. So that's kind of the sourcing. Is that the word? What would I use? This? That's the foundation, the trees and all that, and you can make whatever brand you want. You could decide to make it called Purple Olive, but you have a source to get it. Is that about right?
Yeah, we do the whole thing within the family. Basically, we farm the trees, we harvest, we cold press the olives, we bottle, we sip it within the family. Everything. is a family affair, basically.
I love it. I love it. Good. So let's start up. So when you all got together and you started let's start that as a new venture. How did that work? How did that go? Help us unpack from day one till now. Give us some of the milestones of a brand new, I think, and always feel free to correct me, brand new business in the U.S. under your brand. Let's give the name again one more time. Right. Give me the name of the company. I want to hear it from you, Alejandro. Jorge, I want to hear from you, Jorge. I want to hear your voice say the name of the business, Jorge, and then the website address, please.
Go ahead. The name is Flor de la Jara.
Yes.
Flor de la Jara.
And the website again, Jorge or Tiffany?
Basically, flordelajara.com.
Yeah.
Great. That's FLORDELAJARA.com. We'll have that in the notes and etc. Good. Tiffany, were you going to add something? Were you going to say something?
Oh, that was it. Yes.
So let's start to begin. Then how did that happen? Let's start assuming I can pretend it's a startup. Flor de la Jara is not in the USA. Give us that journey and feel free to unpack what happened and where it is today. And then I'll ask some questions, but just feel free to open up the story of how does one start an olive oil company in the USA? How does that work?
One of the points that, when the first time I started living here in the States, I realized that there were not really good olive oils around, and I say, oh my gosh, this is like I have been living all my life consuming the olive oil of my family, and I say, what is this? What kind of olive oil there are here? So I was like, no, I'm saying, And I say, well, we should start commercializing the olive oil of our family here because it's just like it's real, it's the real deal. It's like a high quality premium olive oil, and it really makes a difference when you try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would just say, I think kind of the way we started, just like, I guess really like granularly speaking,
Yeah.
it kind of came, one day and we're like, okay, we're going to do this. And then, it was a lot of research, and because it's true, like, how do you start something like this?
Right.
A lot of research in terms of who do we reach out to, what do we do, and things like that. We had to come up with the name, we wanted to get the name trademark. So we had
Where
to
did the
come up
name come from, by the way? What is that? I'm sure it means something. Tell me
with.
about the name. Where did that come from?
Flor de la Jara means flower of La Jara. La Jara is the region where the olive groves are located, and basically it's a plant
Okay.
which gives you a really nice white flower, very aromatic, very smelly, and a little sticky, and it's so nice. When you are walking around, even your clothes are getting the smell of that flower that is amazing, and it bringing all my memory when I start going to the olive grove of my family when I was like my son, 4 or 5 years old. I start helping them for harvesting. So there's a lot of memories on that.
Yeah.
I love it. So go ahead, Tiffany. So you were thinking, how do you get the name? Continue. Get that really granular. I want to hear that.
Yeah,
detail.
sure. So then we said, what do we think of the name? How do we think about it? And we wanted to make a name that was that was uniquely Spanish, right? So you could tell that it's Spanish, but then also easy for people who maybe don't speak Spanish to pronounce, and so and something also that was meaningful, right? So we kind of had to come up with that, and then we had to even come up with like, well, what bottles do we use? What shape or design do we use? Do we choose, And we went through all of that, and so just like kind of like building it little by little by little, and then once we kind of had that, we also obviously had the help of people to like to design it creatively, like kind of express our ideas, kind of what we wanted to do, which was
And
also
this is whole having sold nothing yet. This is some
yeah.
whiteboards, paper, online searches. You're just exploring. And this weeks or months? What is this process? Weeks, months, days? Well, give me a sense of.
Months, I would
Okay.
say.
Okay. Continue.
Definitely months. Yeah, definitely months. Because I mean, we're going like little by little, you know what I mean? And so definitely months. And so we're kind of just trying to get everything out. And then we finally kind of say, okay, this is what we've landed on. This is how we want to do things. And then we kind of get the oil, we bring the oil here. And then we just say, okay, let's see how we can get it out to people. Right. And so we start
And
spreading
tell
the
me how the
word.
oil came. Was that like you had one bottle just to taste and Jorge had it in his pocket walking around, or a pallet like 1,000 bottles? Give me a concept of, again, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I want to know what's that. It came to you just 5 bottles to your house, or like 1,000 came to a warehouse in Chinatown? Give me a context of how that first shipment came. What was it like? Give me the detail of that, even. Nothing trade secrets, but just help me understand the.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. So we definitely brought in a sizable volume, right? So definitely use a pallet and so forth,
Okay.
at least kind of bring it in. And then just kind of spread the word about it and just say to people, hey, this is what we're doing. We would love for you to try it. We would go firstly, obviously among family and friends and kind of tell them to spread the word, but then also in like markets, and we would go to, shows and so forth like that to say, hey, we're
Company
here.
events as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And then that's what we've been doing, just kind of taking it little by little.
I love it. And then help me understand, either of you, help me understand this market. I don't know. I'm not a foodie. For me, like Snicker bars, Doritos, and a Coca-Cola sounds good to me for dinner. I'm half joking. Don't tell my wife. But seriously, but tell me understand the market for it. Meaning, because everything is about customers, right? I like this shirt, by the way, Charles Tyrwhitt in England. So I have a certain taste. I don't know why. Same as maybe another sweater, but something about it, the feeling, whatever. So help me understand the olive oil market. I don't even know what to ask, but help me unpack the olive oil market, the food market. Is it to anyone, or is there a slice of market, just like people buying a good watch or a good a cigar or something? Is that kind of what we're talking about? Help me understand that market and who you're looking for.
Well, basically, I will say that there is this specific market for it, even though it's growing more and more and more because the people are getting more conscious about to take care of your health and
Okay.
eating more healthy products and processed, and to eat a very good premium extra virgin olive oil give you a lot of things. So it's good for your skin, for controlling the level of cholesterol, for your hair, for your heart, and even some studies say that it's been good for your brain. So
You had me at that. Now I may become a customer right now. Go ahead.
yeah. Well, basically, what I'm doing every single morning, the first thing that I do in the morning is get a spoon and drink the spoon raw. That is the best way to eat to consume the olive oil,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There is a specific customers that they are
Right.
looking for, and they are trying to find something like a real and good and high quality.
Yeah. And then also the thing about us is that, right, like a lot of people want to know where their food comes from, right? So the thing about us is that you know that it comes basically from us, right? Because we are in the process from the beginning to the end. So you can say, and then also people are also kind of, I think, harping back on kind of old times where they're understanding that things for them to be fresh and for them to be healthy, they can't be available all the time, right? Because you can't possibly have things that are basically coming from you fresh from whatever crop it is. Certain things don't grow all year round. And so you have to understand that, and things that sometimes you have a good harvest and sometimes you don't have a good harvest. So I think people are becoming more aware of that. Like that's a sign of, okay, yeah, I'm getting this freshly or directly from the source, as opposed to, something that's available 24/7, 365 days. Yeah.
I love it. So who is the customer? Give me a definition of maybe, and I'm assuming there could be a few different buckets of customer. Give me a few slices of who could the customer be. What does she look like? He look like? Where do they live? Where are they at? What do they eat? Give me a sense of who the customer could be for olive oil in general. Maybe again, you feel free to define the question and or your type of category of olive oil. Help me understand who the customer is. Paint a picture for me.
Right. So I think the person, like our customer, typically are people who it's actually kind of like a range, to be honest, because we have people who know, okay, listen, I only use olive oil. This is what I know.
That's one customer for sure.
That
We
is
eat
one
olive
customer.
oil. That's it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I know it. I know the polyphenols. I want this. I want that. We know those people.
Perfect.
Then there's some people who are a little bit curious and saying, hey, listen, I've heard about olive oil, maybe I should try it. I understand that, it's good for you. And I kind of want something fresh, that's something kind of direct from the source. And then you have that type of customer as well. And then you have just kind of someone in general who's just like, hey, you know what? It's new. Let me just try it, right? I just want to try something new. And then we have those customers as well. And so in terms of like, it kind of spans it's a very broad kind of scope, right? And I think all types of customers, either of those three or even others, will find something to enjoy, right? So even if you just want to say, listen, maybe there's a customer that's just like, I only want to use brands or consume food where I know where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Those are also our customers as well. So it kind of like, runs the gamut a bit.
And I think all of them, they have something in common. They like food and they are concerned about consume healthy products.
Yeah.
So those two things are, I think, that all of our clients has in common.
Yes.
Or mostly all of them.
Right.
Is it fair to say then, Jorge, following up on that, in this stage of your company, and how old is the company? Remind me.
We just start commercializing the olive oil here 1 year ago, around 1 year ago.
Yeah.
So you're a baby company.
Yeah.
But growing up.
We're growing up.
For sure. And help me understand, I was going to say, so at this stage of the company, I'm guessing you're not trying to convert those who don't use olive oil, those who don't care. And I could be wrong, but you're not trying to convert them. You're finding pockets of people who already use olive oil, maybe even know quite a bit about it. And you're saying, hey, we're an option. Is that fair or maybe not? Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, well, basically that would be the first approach. Yeah, people who really know exactly what are they looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But to be honest as well, is like when we've gone to markets and we're standing there and we're telling people about our oil, and we've had people pass by and are like, I don't use olive oil, or I don't even know what is this about. And we're just like, hey, just try it. And they try it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. So there's even room for people who, like definitely. I said, the curious customer, right?
A lot
what
of
is
them.
that?
A lot of
but
them.
those are two, I guess, and this is a lesson learned for all listening. So that's why I'm asking these questions. My heart is that. So it sounds like when we're looking for customers, you have, and the person listening, two types of customers. There's that who already knows about your market, the watch, the shirt, the car, aficionado, maybe, and you can talk shop, things that you wouldn't talk with me. It could be the other person, health, or for whatever reason, they're like, olive oil? Oprah mentioned something about it. You're here.
Right.
Maybe you'll have a new customer. Is that fair to say that you're attuned to the types of mindset, maybe, of customers? Is that a fair?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That would be
that would be fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it. What have been some of the challenges then to the business? Talk about again, talk about some of the challenges maybe that you've had to date. Any stories or any one or two or three big things? Ooh, Ramon, this is what happened. Wow. And then I want to ask about success. But as you're growing, because in some ways all business is the same. You have to market, even if it's just word of mouth. You have to find where the customer is. In your case, fulfillment, distribution, shipping or plane, whatever it is. So talk about some of the challenges you have. Any one or two stand out, or the challenge could be a particular vertical. Maybe it's labeling is a constant challenge. I don't know. But what's one or two challenges you've had and how have you overcome them? Or maybe you're still working through them.
Well, I will say that at the very beginning, the first challenge that we had is to realize how to ship the goods to our clients, how they're going to receive it, like without any problem, knowing that sometimes it's very difficult to control how the product is treated after you ship it. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anything about anybody, but sometimes it's difficult because you don't know where the content is. Sometimes they throw it, or so you have to find a way. And at the very beginning, we were doing that. So we were at home trying to see what are we gonna do? And we were trying,
dropping it,
trying to see. And
I love it.
A couple of bottles,
right. Because we only use glass bottles, right?
Yeah, we only use glass bottles.
Because olive oil, we think, it
dark glass bottles.
It should be in dark glass bottles.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was definitely a challenge. So we kind of figured out, what would be the best method to package it so it gets to our customer, intact.
Yeah.
Okay. And then anything else? Is that pretty much that's solved now? I guess, sure. You know what to do. Anything else right now besides, anything else?
Everything's a challenge, Ramon, because think about it. We have to do everything by ourselves. We are a small company. So we have to learn very quickly to do every single step on the way.
Yes.
It's beautiful and challenging, and it's so much fun. There are some couples that they love to do activities like, let's go playing tennis, right? But we are like almost the same in that sense, right? Like, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that?
Right.
So, and we enjoy a lot every single step of the way. Sometimes it's very good on in something that I'm not very good. And sometimes I'm very good on something that she's not as good as me.
Yeah.
So we try to,
So I think that's fair to say as well, because for example, I think Jorge is very creative and he's very, very good at that. I am not creative. Like you show me anything, I'm like, oh, it looks great. I have no idea. But he's
on the other hand, I don't like bureaucracy, and she's very good on,
And I'll fill forms. I'll think, let's research, let's get this, and I love to do that.
And she's very good. She's very good on that. So we complement each other, and we have a lot of fun. So same as some people, again, they go playing tennis together, or they like cooking together, or whatsoever. We love cooking together as well. But we have a lot of fun, and we will, because it's just like every day is something new. And we are learning on process, and we are learning to do almost everything. Almost everything.
Yeah.
I love it. What about talking about the customer acquisition? How are you finding customers? How are you getting customers? There's so many things you could do: Facebook ads, Google ads, word of mouth, trade shows, calling direct. Hey, IBM, we noticed you have a new chef from wherever. Can we meet you? What are some big pillars that you're doing to get new customers? And then I do want to ask about repeat customers, but new customers, how are you finding them? What are you doing? What have you learned on that journey?
So you've actually kind of hit a couple of them, right? So we've done Instagram ads. We have our own Instagram page at Flor_olive oil. This is a plug, but so we do Instagram a lot. We'll do Instagram ads. We do go to trade shows, which have been helpful as well. Because we've met people as well, and we've met merchants as well who are interested. Markets like what we said that we've also participated in those.
Corporate events
we've done, right?
We do tastings, and some companies, they invite us to do a tasting for the company, and they got to know more about the varieties that we have, how we do the whole entire thing. So it's very sorry, I can't.
No, that's right. I mean, that's it. That's true. So we do kind of that's pretty much how we do it. Just trying to get the word out as much as possible, and just saying, hey, we're here, and then trying to capitalize on that. Yeah.
I love that. And then I'm curious, what about the repeat customers? What's that look like? I assume you have repeat customers? Is that the goal? Because it's olive oil.
Right.
It's not like this shirt, which lasts for 500 years.
Right.
It goes. Tell me about that. Must be kind of maybe exciting. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is. Sometimes we receive some when we receive an order, we check always if it's a new client or it's a repeat customer, and we are blessed that almost everybody who were using our olive oil by first time, they are repeating. So we are blessed on that, and we are very happy on that. It's also so much fun during the markets because sometimes we are, we give them to try. So we just not just talk. We let them to try to see and to understand the different varieties, difference and stuff. And sometimes we are in a market, I say, hey, I got your olive oil.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Where do you get it from?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody
Gifted it to
yes.
me, or oh, we were here, we saw you guys like last month, we saw you and we bought it. Yeah, so
it's so much fun.
It is fun.
It's really
And we're really like honored too as well.
Yes,
like when
absolutely.
people,
I mean, we are blessed and honored.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. And then tell me about what comes from Spain and what do you do here in the States? I'm looking at your page, and by the way, your website looks really, really good. And congratulations on reviews and other things that I see there, which is really good. Does this come already all done from the source, or does basically the huge box or vat or whatever of oil come, and then locally it's distributed? Just curious, how does that?
That's a very good question, Ramon. That's a very good question. The thing is like, since we want to control the whole entire process, we want to do it from the origin. So we basically bottle as well there. And we package and ship it.
Right.
We basically here commercialize it in such a way nobody's gonna be able to touch our oil because I don't feel comfortable to bring it to a bottling company here.
Co-packer or something.
That I don't know how they're gonna treat the olive oil, if they're gonna store it in the proper way, if they are gonna mix it with something. So we don't wanna take that risk, basically.
Yeah. Because even the facility where we turn the olives into olive oil was established by his grandfather. So it's like really like all in the family. So yeah, so we do basically, I always say that it's basically almost as if you came with us to Spain and we gave you a bottle, right? It's like literally straight from our trees to your table. So it's kind of, that's.
Is there at least a fulfillment here, or does it come straight from Spain to my house or to my company, or is it fulfillment, then you break it apart and send it different places?
Right. So it's fulfilled here. So it comes straight, and then then it gets shipped locally. Yeah.
Very nice. Where do you want, where am I going to see? You'll be proud of me, Jorge and Tiffany. Let me try this. I'm looking at the site. Where will Flor de la Jara be? Did I get it right?
Perfect.
Absolutely fantastic.
Where will Flor de la Jara be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 3 years? What's your visions? And maybe your visions differ. I don't know if you have the same vision, but Tiffany, where will it be for you? Where will it be for you, Jorge? We'll see if you say the same thing or if it's a little different.
Well, hopefully in 5 years, it'll be in everyone's kitchen, right? Like
yes, okay. Which means it'll be a bigger business and you all will have, I don't know how many teams you have, but it'll be a bigger company if that's the case.
Yes, that would be great. I think what we're looking forward to kind of just like in the future, we're going to probably get different sizes, right? And right now we have a 500 ml, which is 16.9 fluid ounces size. But we're going to probably do some smaller sizes as well so that,
that everybody can try, because sometimes they say, oh, I just, because if you're in a market, you can try yourself. But if you see on the website, you cannot really know if you are gonna like it or not. I say, I'm gonna order a small size bottle to try, and if I like it, I can go for the big one. So this is something that is right now in the oven, and we are working on that right now.
Yep. We also on the orchard on the family land. There are also bees, right? So we have bee boxes as well. So hopefully, sometime down the line, we'll be able to make some honey, right?
Yep.
Same honey comes straight from the land, and we can provide honey as well, right? And then I think there's some talk about vinegar maybe as well. So
and then the premium customers can go on a private jet to Spain and sit under a tent with fresh bread and some arroz con pollo or whatever. Correct? Okay, good.
That is actually, that's true. Yeah, that would be also.
I'm in business, and I think please.
So basically, also we would like to be able to do some like an agriculture tourism as well.
Okay.
5 years, what I see is like I want our clients to be able to go and spend there, 3-4 days in the olive grove and to see the whole process by themselves, and that's something that is already, I mean, we are planning on that. But still, we are working on it, and hopefully in the future it will be something that in 5 years, as you say, probably it'll be great to see that happen.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. And let's talk just one more thing about, also about the logistics. I don't know what to ask you there, but to teach others who may be in a competing food business or other business, and I'm guessing food and a shirt are different. I don't know. Thinking of Charles Trewitt, I don't know, different business, but just sharing back and forth. I think when I order it, it comes from England, my shirt, because I see UK something on it, and maybe some of them come through distribution. I don't know, but I think there's a huge UK component for even the UK shirts I buy. But what's your lesson learned? Any more insight about logistics? Because you're very logistics heavy. Does it come on a ship, plane? Does it come on a boat? Is that a pretty easy process? What you're doing? Can you give us any insight into, and to teach others who, especially in the food business, they're shipping something from Ghana or from France or from Spain or wherever, and maybe that makes a difference too. But give me a little
It
talk
makes
about shipping.
makes a difference,
Okay.
and you highlight a very important point. While many people, many companies see by sea, which is cheaper and takes so much time, and your olive oil is storage in a bodega
Mhm.
for weeks or whatsoever,
Yeah.
which is not good because you cannot control the temperature there. We ship by air. All our products are shipped by air. So we ship it on Friday and we have it here on Saturday.
Got it.
So there is no problem with the with the temperature or the way they store it or whatever, because it's just like less than 24 hours is here basically. It's more expensive, but we want to make sure that the quality is intact when it arrives to our clients. That's for us is the priority.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they're selling it as a premium product. I'm not into ladies' handbags that much or any fashion. Somebody gifted my wife a Tory Burch handbag.
Oh, nice.
Jorge and Tiffany. Have you seen that? Do you know where I'm going? Okay. The box was so good, I didn't even want to open it. I was about to sell the box on eBay. The
Yeah.
box. Then I opened up the box. There's a bag, not the handbag, the bag of the bag. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, let me sell this on Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
And then I
Right.
saw the tissue paper. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I could buy a new car with the tissue paper. So I'm having some fun here. My point being, though, they're making a determination to sell a premium product. So all that goes with it. Is it fair to say yours is in not the first category, but it's a premium product, and that's your market, or no? Talk about that a bit. What's your lesson learned? What have you learned
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, so I mean, Jorge will say that his is your grandfather that to say not only does something have to be
Yeah.
good, but it also has to look good, right?
Right.
And so our product, yes, when you see our product, I mean, we want it to convey that it is not only good for you, but it also looks good, right? So you'll see
It
it
does.
comes in like beautiful kind of lettering, like rose gold lettering that you can see on the box, and then I mean on the bottle, and then it also comes in a box, which is nice. And if you see us in person in the market, we give you a bag with our logo and all of that stuff on it. Yes, so because we want
Yeah.
people to really kind of see the value of it
You
as
gotta
well.
be good
Yeah.
and you have to look good.
Right.
Yeah,
Both.
come on. I agree. Yeah. I love it. Tiffany and Jorge, again, anything else that you want to, lessons learned, anything, and I'll turn to maybe you first, Tiffany, anything you want to share for the business owner who's watching this, your journey that you learned? And a lot of business is the same. I'm in business, I'm in publication, totally
Right.
different than shipping, but I have customers, I have clients, I have to serve them, I have customer service. But anything you've learned, Tiffany, that you could say, hey, Ramon, I want to share this or that. And maybe if you don't, no problem, but that you learned as an entrepreneur in business, anything else you can share that I didn't ask you?
I think I would say this. I was actually thinking about something similar the other day, and I would say, there's so many people with so many great ideas.
Mm.
And I mean, I've had other great ideas as well. And it's like, well, what do you do? I said, the first thing that you have to do is just to start, right? Like, don't worry about how many mistakes you're going to make. Don't worry about this. Just start. Because I mean, we started last year, but we were talking about it for a while. We were talking about it for a while. And then we were just like, you know what? Let's just start. And there are a lot of things, like Jorge had said, like there are a lot of challenges, right? Because we have our skill set, we know what we're doing for certain things, but we don't know everything.
Right.
And there's so many facets to a business that when you don't know, you just have to learn. And you are doing a lot of learning on the fly. But if you don't get that, if you don't just start, right, then you won't really get to see and enjoy and learn so much. And then also I would say, everyone can learn something, right?
Mhm.
Like, I think as we get older, we have a tendency to think of like our learning days are over, right? You know, you went to school, you read the books, you did this, blah, 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 whatever like that. And then you do your job and that's it. Like that's what you're doing. And maybe you get a little bit of acquisition of new skills, but not anything like transformative, you know? And so just to understand and remember, like we're all still learning beings, right? So we can take advantage, just take a chance and learn something new, completely different than what you've done. It's so rewarding. So yeah, that would be, I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. For absolutely. Thank you. Jorge, what comes to mind for you? What have you learned? What can you share? What's your advice? What didn't I ask you?
Basically, there will be a lot of bumps on the road, a lot of them, that you should keep going, never give up. It sounds like a cliche about never give up, but it's the truth because sometimes you can get, you can get down with something. Oh, it's not working the way I thought, and and some people get, frustrated. You have to leave that apart. If you have a dream, you have to chase it. If you don't chase your dream, nobody's gonna chase it for you. So you gotta keep going, and you have to work hard, and you have to do everything is in your hand to make it happen.
That's right. That's right. And that's my friend says, which is true. I never heard it like that, but she always says, you know, Tiffany, you remind me that you can eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So it's true. So it's true. It's like, you know, you think of this big thing and all you gotta do is just like little by little, just kind of, just kind of go little by little, scratch it, take it, pick at it. And then before you know it, you would have eaten the elephant. So
No, you're right. And it's amazing how that's with anything. You all are a year-old company. As we're talking this, you'll be a 5-year, a 10-year-old company making whatever you're making in revenue. You'll be a $20 million, $50 million company at some point. When I think of my show, The Rundown with Ramon, day one, see, now I'm getting ready to cry. Day one, it was episode 1. When I think now USA Today show, Rundown with Ramon, episode 160 will be Monday.
Oh
wow.
my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sooner to be 1,000, sooner to be 500. So it's just, that's
Right.
what it is. So I agree. Oh, I did want to ask 2 more things. One, are you both, are you both, do either of you work outside of the company, or are you right now working outside the company? And talk about your income stream. Like, are you working as well, or is this your full-time job?
We
Yeah,
both
we
work.
both work.
We both work.
We
So
both
we
work.
make it even more challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby of
Yeah.
a baby.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why when you ask like how long did things take? Was it weeks or months?
Yes.
It's definitely months because we
Yeah. Yeah.
people still have to work. So
love
yeah.
it.
So yeah.
And then the
Definitely.
follow-up, what do you do? It seems like you all have a good relationship, but I've been married 30 years and I can smile one day and be, oh, the other day. Not this, but meaning my attitude, But
Yeah.
talk about your relationship, and not as far as marriage, but Jorge, hearing you love what you do. So I'm sure a lot of it's about business, but just I'd love your tips on that. What do you do if you fight? What do you do? I'm assuming you may fight, whatever degree that may be. You may disagree. Or he's like, it has to be green and we got to ship it by DHL. And Tiffany's like, it's got to be blue and we got to use FedEx. Or what do you do? How do you talk about relationships? You together, you're not just partners, you're couple and business partners. So I'd love to hear, Jorge, I'll turn to you first, just about your
You are
tips.
absolutely right. Even if you have a fantastic rating that we have,
Yeah.
there are certain moments that we disagree.
Of
But
course.
disagree is also healthy because it allows you to grow as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think that it's gonna be this way. No, I think that oh, okay, I never thought about that way before. Hold on a second. Sometimes we get mad at each other. Hey, come on now. So after 5 seconds, like, okay, what are we gonna do? This or the other? So we don't have to take it anything personal. That's the
Yes.
key.
And that's
That's the
overall maturity. That's just human maturity. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just about we both try to reach the best of the
Yeah.
business, and we are trying to do our best.
Yes.
So sometimes we can make mistakes. We learn from the mistake, as you say, and it's true that I never go to sleep without, learning something new.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Tiffany, what do you
And
say? Oh, go ahead. Jorge, please continue.
I'm sorry, no, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that I mean, in terms of the business, I think what Jorge says is right? Like, so we really try to kind of keep them separate. Like, even if we're having a disagreement in the business, business is business, and then our life is our life. When we have a disagreement in our life, I think we just try to say, I think we just have to we remember that we both have really good intentions, right? So even if like, oh, I say something or he does something or I say something, I'm like, at the core of the person, I mean, the core of the person, the person is really good, number one. Number two, you also know that the person has your best interest at heart,
Mm.
right? So even when you're upset at the other person, you know, you just kind of like have to remember that, and you're like this, oh yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You're like, that's true. Okay, yes, they are, you know what I mean? And so I think that that's that helps us. I think that that's something that we kind of rely on as well, no? Yeah.
Mhm. Definitely.
I love it. Tiffany, I'll hear it in your voice. Give us the name of the business again, and slowly tell us the website name. Feel free to talk about any to the olive oil foodies out there, any code word to them, stuff, whatever you want. But feel one more time, talk about the business, talk about the company before we conclude, please.
Sure, sure. So it's Flor de la Jara, and it's flordelajara.com. It's, I will spell it out like you
Please.
did. It's FLORDELAJARA. And our Instagram is _olive oil. So you can see us on that as well. In terms of like the business, I would just say, you know, for the foodies, like look out and see kind of, we have some things that are coming up, which I think it'll be fantastic. It's very exciting. And so we just kind of want you to stay tuned, whether you're a foodie or not. And just, you know, try our extra virgin olive oil, which is fantastic. And I know that Jorge looks like he's trying to, he wants
No,
to
no,
say
no, no,
something
no.
as
I'm
well.
listening carefully. You know, I'm taking notes.
I got my man. Yes.
Yeah, and so yeah, so we would, and yeah, we just would love for people to try it. And yeah, that's kind of what I would have to say. I think, yeah.
Jorge, anything you want to add? Please feel free. Anything to add, please.
No, they can take a look about our social media to see who we are,
Yeah.
what are we doing. Take a look at our trees, some recipes that we do, and you know, some good news are probably, you know, coming, and you check your social
You have
media.
to check the website
know,
or social
know.
media to find it
That,
out.
that's
Exactly,
correct. That's
exactly,
correct.
exactly. No, yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
I love it. Listen, you both are amazing. You look beautiful together. And thank you for spending time on The Rundown with Ramon. And my name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com. Thank you for listening to The Rundown with Ramon.